Good afternoon and welcome everyone to my story Monday meditation class. And I am Pam. I am very happy to be here with all of you again as your moderator today. And hope everyone had a wonderful weekend and lovely to see you today. Happy Monday. And today we have Monk Pasura as our teaching monk. So he will share some of the meditation best practice, and then we will have guided meditation. And before ending the program, we will have Q&A session as normal, where you can share your meditation experiences and also asking any question that you may have. All right, I believe everyone are ready. And in order to begin the session, may I please invite everyone pay respect to our teaching monk, Monk Pasura, by bowing 3 times. Let's bow. Second bow. And third bow. May I please invite Monk Pasura to begin the session, please.
Hello, happy Monday. So let's just wait for a couple of minutes. It seems that people are slowly logging into our My Story meditation sessions today. So it's good to be here. I think I just came here last week. And so let's wait for a few more minutes for people to slowly coming in. But before we get to certain part, I would love to know if you have been practicing meditation in the past days without the mind stories. And if so, can you actually put it down if you have any good experience or any hindrances that you have encountered throughout during your personal practice. The reason I'm asking is that meditation practice is a skill. It is like sharpening a knife. You can't just, expect to swipe a few times once every week and expect the knife to be sharp. And don't forget that our mind is used 24/7. That means we are using our mind all the time. So that knife tend to get dull very easily if you don't constantly, sharpen it all the time. It's going to get rusted at some point. So I know that we have my stories as the way to reinforce our meditation practice and develop some good knowledge and also enhancing our experiences and all that is a good thing to come together to meditate. But it is also a daily practice because just like we love our body, we take shower every single day, right? Hopefully, hopefully taking shower every day. So our mind is also used every day. That means, our mind gets stained, get dirty, gets splashed on with different negative, contaminations, with our own craving, getting upset, frustrated, those kind of stuff that really mixing up with our mind. So without constantly or the daily shower for the mind, of course, it will end up getting dirtier, getting less good quality or in good shape. And anytime that our mind get affected by this negativity, it's also alter the way we see the world. Think of the mind like a glass of water that is crystal clear. And if it may contaminate our minds, like ink, different colors of ink that mix into the water. So if you look to the glass of water that mixed with, let's say, blue ink, that means everything that we see will be in blue. That being said, it means that we are not seeing things according to reality. It's only perceived through the blue color of water, right? And imagine if the blue color is our anger. That means we're gonna be affected by our perception of anger, and our reaction will be based on our anger. So anytime that we are able to clear our own mind, it brings ourselves back to see things as reality. And therefore, our actions respond towards the world to be different based on reality, become more logical. And that will also lead to positive results in our life. And that is why short meditation every single day is really important. Even if you do it just only a few minutes before sleeping, a few minutes after getting up, it is very important to constantly at least, do, like washing your hands every once in a while in a day. So, and then during the week, come to join together with a longer meditation to enhance and deepen, let's say deep cleansing with the mind stories. So this will be something that we can also maintain the quality of the mind. Don't forget that the mind is something that we use all the time, but because we don't see it, it's very easily for us to be neglecting the mind and forget that it even exists. So I'm seeing people slowly coming in a little bit more and more. So that's a very good thing. Then, so today, what the part I'm going to be starting with is a bit reinforcing what exactly when we talk about meditation. The term meditation is actually a Western term. And if you look up in Merriam-Webster dictionary, it usually explained as the state of contemplation, religious practice, different things, or mental practice. It's generally explained as some kind of mental action. That usually the definition of meditation in English. However, in my tradition, we don't actually have the word meditation as you said. We use the word bhavana. And the word bhavana translated as to develop, to produce. So the question is that what am I producing through this process of bhavana or enhancing the development of the mind? What am I really producing? What we are producing is clarity, purity, focus, all the way to inner peace. All of this we call together as samadhi, which means the mind stands still at one point. Samadhi is the goal. The state of the mind becomes so clear until that we are able to understand ourselves better, see things better, and that clarity of the mind also eliminate our negative feelings in ourselves that we have been collecting. That being said, to get to samadhi or this one-pointedness of the mind, it comes from developing what we call as mindfulness, consciousness, or sati in Pali. The word sati literally translated as to know, which means that anytime you're able to know, to remember, to remind, or to be conscious of anything that happened with you, you are actually developing sati. So meditation practice in general is to prolong the state of having that consciousness. That's why sometimes that you are sitting down to meditate and you realize, oh, I have so many thoughts in my mind. Is it a bad thing? No, not at all. That means you are able to recognize that, oh, I have so many thoughts passing by in my mind. That's a good part because that is the time you are being mindful of what's going on in your present moment. Therefore, don't feel like if you have so many thoughts during your meditation, or I'm failing the meditation practice, not at all. That means you're noticing things that's going on. You're already developing the mindfulness. You're developing consciousness. That's a good thing. Reinforce that idea. Because otherwise people make a lot of judgment on themselves, like, oh, I cannot really sit down, or I'm trying to silence my mind by using physical force, and it doesn't really happen. And then make a lot of judgment, or if you force yourself too much, you end up feeling frustrated, you're feeling agitated, and you want to quit meditation after 15 minutes. So anytime that you realize what's going on, you are developing consciousness. When your consciousness is strengthened, it becomes samadhi, or the one-pointedness or stillness of the mind. So it's like you constructing a building, a skyscraper. You need the foundation to be solid, right? You need the foundation to be deep, wide, and strong. Solid foundation, the more solid foundation, the taller the building would be. Samadhi, or the one-pointedness or stillness of the mind, is the building. Consciousness is the foundation. Our part is to establish the foundation, and the building will establish itself. We don't need to do anything with the building. Our part is to reinforce the foundation, which is to use our time to recognize what's going on. So any techniques of meditation is basically what you use in order to recognize what happened with you in the moment, even though it could be something that doesn't feel like a technique at all. For example, just realizing I'm sitting here very comfortably, you actually realize what's going on. Or I'm just observing myself, the thought passing by while remaining very relaxing. That's also developing the consciousness, because you always have those thoughts in your mind. Doesn't mean that just because you're meditating, you suddenly have thought. No, it doesn't mean that way. It means you have them all the time. You just realize that you have them when you close the eyes and begin to observe them. So that is actually the way human mind works. So the moment we begin to accept that, oh, I have so many thoughts, so I'm going to watch it like I'm watching a movie until the movie ends on its own. And finally, that will lead to the stillness of the mind. So reinforce the idea that you are just here observing what's going on. Your part is just to realize that I'm here. I'm becoming aware of how I'm so comfortable and content with the moment. If you want to apply the techniques of meditation, whether it's going to be visualizing the sun, the full moon, or repeating the mantras in your mind, whatever technique is supposed to be just something that help you recognize what's going on in the moment so comfortably. It shouldn't come by the feeling of forcing, because techniques is only a guide. It's like a boat or a transportation that takes you to the destination. You're not supposed to be pushing the transportation. You're supposed to be, sitting very relaxing, graciously on the transportation and get it there, right? Just like you fly first class, you just enjoy the ride, sit back, relax, and enjoy it until you reach the destination. They're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be, pushing the car from the back. So don't make it meditation like that, because anytime you do so, you realize if you feel frustrated, feel agitated, feel like after 15 minutes, it's just so hard to continue closing my eyes, that comes with forcing your mind to be silent. When you realize those sensations, we start from the very beginning, go back to adjust your sitting posture, relaxing your muscle, bring it back down to where you are in your own space in the moment to free your mind, and then bring it back inside to the center. Each time that you're restarting, it is each time you establish the foundation of consciousness, and that's a good thing. So more mindfulness is good, but that mindfulness must come with comfort. The only key is that people tend to miss out. That factor is to be very comfortable throughout the whole time. To sum it up, I would just call and reinforce what I said last time is, as long as you notice that I'm so content the way I am, you're doing it right. As long as you're conscious that you are so content just the way you are, that means your mind's on the right track. And that will come with the second feeling, which is, I feel like I can just continue like this for as long as it takes. If you have these two things, that means you are not forcing your meditation, and you're gradually developing the set of consciousness. And eventually, whatever goal that we want to achieve, we reach that at one point, and it comes naturally to you. And that's how the state of being conscious, the state of mindfulness, become part of you, because that's what we want to have in real life. How that could be and have that mindfulness, being aware of what's going on without having to force ourselves all the time, because that becomes unnatural, and that's not something that we can function in real world. What we can function is being aware of what's going on. Okay, so remember just a few things that I have explained to you right now. Take your time to slowly, gradually develop the state of being aware comfortably until you feel so content exactly the way you are. If you disrupted at any point, restart and go back to the same routine again and again and again. Okay, without mumbling any longer than this, let's get the party started. So let's start with stretching your body. Stretch your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your hand, loosen up every muscle you have in your body so that you really get adjusted, you really get comfortable the way you're sitting down without feeling that you have to force your body. Remember that to take your time every single time you come to meditation practice. There is no need to rush into anything. The more that you are taking your time with the relaxation and adjustment, the easier your mind comes down to be still within yourself. So start from stretching your body. And once you feel that your muscles are loosening up, gently turn your attention back to be with your body sensation. And take this moment to gently adjust your sitting posture. Whether you are going to be sitting on a chair or on the floor, a sitting posture should be the one that You feel so balanced, comfortable, and very natural to you. So turn your attention to observe the floor under your feet or your body before gently turn your attention up to your calves, knees, thighs, feeling that they are so relaxed without any strain or tension. And turn your attention to feel your hands comfortably rest on your lap without any tension at your wrist, elbows, or the shoulders. Adjust the way you're sitting here until you can feel that the blood circulation flows so smoothly from top to toes, feeling that there is no part of you remain tensed or forced. It is as if you can settle down here at your seat without any time limits. Once you adjust the posture until you found the right one, then let us turn the attention back to be with the body sensation, to observe the feeling on our skin, the sound that we hear, all the way to feel our breath as we are breathing in very gently, feeling the air passing the nostrils, and it goes down where it touches and turns deep inside the abdomen. And exhale, allow the out breath to carry any worries, problems, or any other concerns, frustration, or irritation that we may have been holding up. Follow the breathing flow a couple times, in and out. Observe the gentle movement and the feeling of the gentle touch when your breath reaches the end inside yourself. As you are breathing out, free up your mind from all kinds of frustration, troubles that you may have, until both of your body and mind begin to feel so comfortable. You know, when you are comfortable, when you feel like, I just want to settle right here and rest for a while, here where time and space don't matter. It is where I can take a break with myself for a moment. So breathe in and breathe out, and gently turn the attention to feel the eyes close so softly in the way that the eyelashes gently touch one another until you can feel the relaxation around the eyeballs, two corners of the eyes, up to the eyebrows. Let that relaxation flow up to your forehead, temples, down to your nose, cheeks, all the way to the back of your head, down to your neck and shoulders, feeling the flow of relaxation flushing down both of your arms to your hands until all tensions are flushed down from your fingertips, and turn the attention to your chest. Allow the stream of relaxation to flush tension down from your body to your legs, feet, all the way to the tips of the toes. Allow your entire body to be free from any tension that you may have until you are feeling so relaxed. The way you're sitting here and now, especially your facial muscles, allow them to be more relaxed around the forehead, the temples, and the cheeks. Anytime you feel like this posture begin to be uncomfortable, please feel free to gently adjust at any time. Then slowly turn the attention back to be with yourself, where you sit back and rest at your seat. So breathe in again, very gently, feeling your breath touches the end at the center, and exhale. Breathe in and breathe out until both of your body and mind are so relieved from any tension and pressure. Now that you are more comfortable with your body, you may gently turn your attention to be with your body sensation and observe your surrounding space, feeling that you can extend your attention until it touches the horizon, feeling that you are here alone, away from all troubles, expectation, and demands. Here at this spot, It is your personal sanctuary where there is nothing but peace blanket all over your whole being, where you can put everything aside and let your body and mind rest from just a little longer, filling your space without anybody around, just you, without any disturbance or intrusion. You may picture yourself in the surrounding of serene nature of your choices, like sitting by a beach on a warm sunny day, gazing upon the skyline, or on top of the mountain, looking down at the green rolling hills, or just a blank canvas of space all the way to the sky. Wherever you like to be, to rest, let that be your personal place to rest for the moment, with your mind calm, with your body so comfortable. Anytime you are distracted by your thoughts and your surrounding, it is okay. It is common. When you recognize the distraction, that means you are conscious of your presence. It is a good thing that you can be aware of what's going on. So you just return your attention back to the comfort of your body, all the way back here by yourself, taking rest in this space again. As you are repeating these restarts, the level of awareness is strengthened and reinforced. The distraction reappear lets and lets, as long as you can remain so content, relaxed, and comfortable, even though you may notice thoughts or distraction. You are on the right path to reinforce the foundation of stillness. So feel yourself in your chosen space, with your mind so calm, with your body so comfortable, where you can free up your mind from every single matter inside, until you feel settling down You may gently turn your attention down to be inside yourself where your breath ends. Turn it down to your center as if your mind is coming back home after a long journey, feeling the gentle touch of your awareness upon that center space until you notice that calmness and inner comfort, feeling like your mind is coming back home where it belongs. So gently turn it back here into that soft and comfortable spot inside. Let it stay there. Observe the growing taste of contentment we have inside. Whatever comes, let it pass. Whatever happens, let it be. We will get to the deeper state of peace by withdrawing what we are holding on to, matters in life, the urge to control or to act. When we are able to withdraw our mind from them, the mind also withdraw from holding on to physical senses, and thus when it can surpass deeper inside, so free the mind from every single matter it holds on, and reinforce how comfortable we are inside until we can set aside any action, any control, so we can just observe, aware of this inner comfort that slowly enwrap our mind here inside the center space. Allow the basin of calmness to fill every part of the mind deeper inside. If you are content just the way you are, let it continue just like this, with this inner comfort. If you feel like you may need a landmark to identify the whereabouts of your mind, you may visualize a bright, shining sun slowly emerge at the center space, feeling the warm, bright, shining sun glowing, radiating the warmth and the brightness of the sun, drawing your mind closer and deeper. The image of the sun does not have to be sharp or clear, just the gentle awareness of its presence is enough for you to notice where the mind is at its comfort spot. So let your mind immerse into the bright and warm sensation within, feeling like the sun is a part of you until this bright, shining light slowly melt away your physical sensation until you are becoming one with the space, until your entire body assimilates with the air, so vast, spacious, and expand with the sun shining in the middle of this space, bright and warm. Observe the glowing comfort coming from the sun, so soothing that our minds settle down in stillness and peace, steady, calm, and still. Observe this moment of contentment and joy. Those of you who prefer the mantra as the guiding sound or the calling from inside, you may let the gentle sound of the mantra echoing from deep within. The mantra can be any words of your choices, like Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang. Translate as absolute purity. It is a reminder that guiding our mind closer and deeper inside, or if you feel like using any other phrases or words, You may let it echoing from deep inside. That is just a reminder so that the mind can find its way back to the origin, deeper inside. Or if you feel like, I'm so content with this stillness, I can just observe the way it is. You may continue that way. Whatever techniques that we choose and apply, you'll bring the mind to the one common destination, and that is deeper inner peace, calmness, contentment. At that point, no techniques is required. It's only this stillness we have inside and the joy that's slowly building up little by little. So let the mind staying still at the center space with your choices of technique or simply observe. If you find yourself feeling sleepy, you may slightly open the eyes just a little to feel the light coming in so that it can rest your attention and let your mind return to the center, to this comfort spot again. So keep it steady, still, so calm, soft, and comfortable. You're at the center space with the sun, with the mantra, or with the stillness inside, where inner peace is a part of your mind. Let it emerge at the center. Warm and bright, calm, content, and joyful. Sammang Arahang Sammang Arahang Sammang Arahang. Observe the way your mind is resting in the light, in the sun, deep inside the inner comfort and peace. Let the mind dive deeper down without any restraint, without biting. Allow it to be set free, where peace is waiting. Looks like deeper inside. Sammang Arahang. Sammang Arahang. Sammang Arahang. Now that you have settling down in that volume of peace, as you observe the peace energy that your mind is gently immersing in, the peace energy inside will slowly expand. This warm, positive sensation expand is emerge from the point inside as you let it expand further and further until It fills your surrounding space, your neighborhood, all the way to the whole city, beyond the horizon, beyond boundaries, expand. Allow this peace energy to overflow like a ripple that slowly expands on its own. Wherever it goes, it broadcasts your goodwill for every creature, every person to live free of harm, free of danger, free of sadness, sorrow, pain, and misery. Expand. Allow this peace energy to embrace and comfort everyone with your love, with your sympathy and compassion, wishing all living beings to live free, happily, joyfully, without any violence, without hatred and aggression. Radiate and expand your goodwill, your peace energy further and beyond indefinitely. Reach out to your loved one, family, friends, whether they are deceased or still alive. Share with them your positive peace energy wherever they are. May they always live with joy, safe and sound from all harms. One by one, every single one of them, all the way to reach out to anyone who may have offended us in the past, whether what they have said, what they have acted or thought wrongfully against us. We still share with them our goodwill, our peace energy, so that this line is the token of our forgiveness that will free our mind from the pain of anger holding inside. So share with them those who may have transgressed against us in the past, wishing them to be joyful, happy. And then let that peace energy fill every part of you to appreciate yourself, your past effort for every single day with your intention to stay positive, to do good deeds. So feel the peace energy slowly embrace every part of you until you're becoming aware of your physical sensation, aware of your face, your hands, your body, and slowly take a long, soft, and deep breath in. And now breathe in gently, deeper down, and exhale, feeling the flow of your breath in and out very gently. Sape Buddha Palapatta Pateka Nanjayam Palam Arahantanam Jate Narakam Kantami Japaso Eatalata Sakita Varuna Buddha Sasane Aroga Sukita Hunta Sahasa Pehi Iyatipi Sapa Buddha Nupavena Sapatama Nupavena Sapa Sangha Nupavena Sata Sotipa Vantu. So you can slowly stretch your body. So that's the conclusion of the meditation part for today. So I think the drill is to take a photo first, right? Or later. But in the meantime, if you like to share how you experience a meditation with me in terms of maybe scaling it from 1 to 5, 5 being like awesome and 1 being like, not
Yes,
really
please.
there.
Thank you so much, Mang Pasura.
So you can put it down in the chat with the number. So then while I'm waiting for you to put it down, you may open your camera and show your smiley face of happiness and peace.
Thank you so much, Mang Pasura. Can you hear us?
Sure.
I think he's got freeze now.
Okay.
I think your voice is breaking down, ค่ะหลวงพี่ All right. While we are waiting for you to come back.
It's the internet though. Everything is fine here.
Okay. Sorry about that. All right. We'll take this opportunity to take a group photo together first before we continue. All right. May I encourage everyone to turn on your cameras and have a group photo together. Let's smile. Just happy, smiling. All right. Thank you so much for having a lovely bright smile, sharing with each other. And if you would like to share your meditation experiences or asking any question to our teaching monk Pasura, please feel free to type down in the chat box. And may I transition back to Monk Pasura, please?
So I think I saw 4, 5, 3.5 from Lynn, from Manish, from Becky. It's good for you. So if you still remember what I have said in the beginning of the sessions about that restraint,
Sorry, I'm not sure this is my internet, or our teaching monk internet is quite silent now.
I think it could be yours because you are frozen in front of me. Yeah, so it's good. So as I have said at the beginning of the meditation, is that if you can maintain that level of the mindfulness and awareness, and if time you recognize it with a sense of comfort, is a good thing. So that's also one of the key factors. If you're meditating by yourself, then maybe time it is easier to be distracted. That's the thing. So this will be helpful to keep reminding yourself about restarting, coming back to where you have started, so that you don't get too distracted in the meantime with your meditation practice. So if you can do it every single day, eventually you will be able to surpass what you have reached before and above and beyond. So any questions? If you don't have any questions, I have just a little bit of the things to share with you, since the new year is coming. And I see some of you who eat the Chinese name, so I take it that usually you understand the drill around you understand the drill for the Chinese New Year, right? That we usually, clean our house first. Oh, sorry. So I got 2 questions now. Kunal, why Buddha said it is good to have patience rather than retaliation? That's actually a pretty good question. But first of all, before understanding the question, would be understanding what the word patient would mean. Normally, people trying to translate the word patience like kind of suck it up, as long as you kind of suppress all of the anger and pain inside, I'm being patient. So that's actually kind of not the right way to explain about the word patient. It's like you talk about patience like you have a bucket. And each time when you are facing something that disturbs you, you put a piece of trash in the bucket and you close the lid. The next time you have it again, you get another piece of trash and close the lid. So now it depends on how big your bucket is. So one day the bucket will be full and the trash inside will be spoiled, will decompose, and it's not very smelly until one day you can't even close it. And then one day you kind of explode. And that's how we think about the word patient would be like. The word patience in the Buddhist context doesn't mean having a bucket, but we refer it to the ground, which means everything that is buried in the ground will turn to be something positive. You put the trash in the ground, it turns to be fertilizer for the flower to grow and blossom. You put the piece of charcoal in the ground, through heat and pressure, it turns to be a diamond. That's what we look at the word patient. It's not about suppressing, but look at the positive side of it, so that we can overcome those senses of that we disturb our mind. Now, the reason the Buddha said it's better to be patient rather than retaliate, because the retaliate will lead us to this vicious cycle of retaliation. When we retaliate, it means we engage in the negative actions towards one person, whether with our words. Say, I yell at you. You will get so frustrated with me, you will want to yell back at me. So in retaliation, I yell back at you. So it's going to be going back and forth, and when this vicious cycle will end. Not only that, it will not end, it will keep escalating. It could get worse. And eventually we will become the victim of our own action. So that's why we choose to be patient by turning it to something else rather than retaliate, so that I can maintain my good value and also not become the victim of this vicious cycle. However, it doesn't mean being patient, also doesn't mean surrender, or doesn't mean submission. Just when people do something bad to you, it doesn't mean that you have to allow them to keep beating you up. But there are other ways to get out of a situation without employing negative actions or force of retaliation. That's exactly what it means in the Buddhist one the Buddha was teaching. He wants us to get out of this abusive situation without employing this retaliation or negative actions so that we don't end up in this vicious cycle. That's what actually he was meaning. So when we talk about patience, remember, it's not about suppressing what you have. It's about turning it to something positive, and so that we become more logical and rational to get out the negative situation without, getting bothered and engaged in negative actions. So that's the first question. And for Manish, can I briefly describe about past life and afterlife that this group member are related by past life? So in Buddhist context, we talk about the cycle of rebirth, which means there's always something that we have in the past. Karma literally translates as action. So what we did will be something that we receive a result in the future. That's actually the meaning of the translation of the word karma. It's nothing more than that. It's like if you eat, you're full. If you don't eat, you stay hungry. But it's also the timeline of karma that's also kind of confusing. But if you kind of understand this concept, like for example, I have been having bad diet for the last 10 years. And suddenly today I decided, okay, if no more, I'm going to eat healthy food. It doesn't mean that my health will be better tomorrow, because 10 years of bad diet will continue to give effect for some times, right? But if I want my health to turn around and get healthier, it means I have to be more consistent with the healthier diet until finally it overcomes the accumulate effects of the bad diet in the past. So that is what karma is like. That being said, there's something between the past life and the afterlife that depends on the karma. Just like, think of it like each lifetime is a chapter in the book. So you are the one who write the chapter of the book. If you write this chapter, beautifully, the story in these chapters is full of joy, full of happiness, full of something very beautiful. It means when this chapter ends, the next one, we tend to start with something beautiful. But if this chapter is very dramatic, it's full of the twisted plot, very, full of horror plot, for example, scary plot. Imagine when this chapter ends, what the next chapter, how it will start with the next one. It will carry on with that twisted plot, with all this, dramatic plot, right? So each lifetime is the chapter of the book that you are writing it down. So you are the one who chooses how you want to write them. There are some past chapters that you cannot unwritten it, but you can always choose how you want to write it in this, chapter or in this lifetime. And that's how we understand about the past life and the future life, by focusing on the present. And about the group member is that in the way the Buddha explained is that we have been born so many lifetimes that all of us have intertwined, come into contact at least once in this cycle. So it's not beyond the impossible that we have, crossed paths somewhere before. So you can say that to almost everybody. So I got another question from Elena, that my daughter broke her arm third time in 9 months. So I'm sorry to hear that. I can't find a reason for it. It also affected my meditation. I feel no peace or contentment. I get very fearful instead. How can I proceed? So, Elena, I understand that you must have been very worried about your daughter broke her arms in 9 months. In our explanation would be that I don't know how old your daughter is, and I don't know what the conditions that caused her, whether it's going to be something that happened because of the working conditions or her habits or even her existing conditions or anything. It's just a bit too broad to answer them. But the point being is that if it's something in the present that we can prevent, then we can just explore about the working condition, the lifestyle, and everything just to be more preventive. But after all, we can't always predict everything. That's the reality of life. So that may be sad, but if we understand and we kind of accept reality that we cannot predict the future outcome, but we can do our best with trying to be, protective and be mindful about what's going on by exploring the surrounding factors, that it can be very helpful. Secondly, I know that you may not find peace and contentment and feeling fear. It is reality that we cannot change what is like, but you can also, bring your daughter. Let's say that if you want to feel more at ease, you can also do something that we do called sharing loving kindness towards someone that we love by sharing our positive energy. That if this, incident came because of her past karma, then hopefully that the positive energy that we dedicate for her can ease up those kind of past karma. So you can do it by, at the end of the meditation, feeling that you see her in the middle of your brightness and peace energy. So that would be another way. So I hope it's something that you can give it a shot. So from Sega, with session today, I'm very still in my mind for 5 minutes and lots of wandering thoughts. Now I want to know if it's good. The question would be, are you comfortable with realizing that you're having thoughts? Like I said at the beginning, it's okay that you notice your thought, but if you get frustrated by it, that means you choose to be bothered by them. If you just, like you see these thoughts like a movie that's slowly passing in front of you, then it's like the train passing by, but you don't really feel like bothered by them, it's good. If you can just maintain with that contentment of comfort to observing them, eventually those wandering thoughts will finally be quiet on its own. But if you feel frustrated at any point, you don't have to struggle through it. What you can do is open your eyes right away and restart from relaxing. It could be that sometimes, in the middle, after 5 minutes, you end up kind of pushing it. So it starts to tend to come a lot more. And one thing to know is that thoughts come when we close the eyes more than when we open the eyes. So if you want to reset when it feels too bothering with the thought, open the eyes completely, take your time to restart with the relaxation, and you get to that point again. So from Fiona, is there a Buddhist requirement for disposal of the body after death, burial, or cremation? Technically, not. In different Buddhist tradition, they will explain things different way. But in Theravada Buddhist tradition, we always say that this body doesn't really belong to us. We borrow this element from the earth. So when we pass away, we return this back to the earth. Therefore, it doesn't belong. Since it doesn't belong to us, whatever it is that will create the less burden to those people who have to take care of us will be the best way. So that's how we look at it. It doesn't matter if I'm going to be buried or cremated, as long as this still continue to be very less burden for anyone who I left behind, without them have to be bothering so much. So in Thailand, we usually cremate the body, but also people may bury it, but it's not because of the other aspect of the requirement or anything. We understand that this burial is supposed to be returning back to earth. That's all. So from Kunal, can you give the real-time example, the use of the patience in a positive way? Let me give my own example. Because I used to be a very hot-tempered person before I became a monk. I don't like people kind of looking at me in a bad way. So I try to kind of blurt out right away. So I have this mentality. So as I begin to develop my, into my monk's life, I realized one thing, that if I keep, being so heating up towards people around me, it doesn't bring good result. So let's say when usually I used to work a lot, and in those work I tend to be very fuzzy, breathing down people's neck, and it's not really not that I'm happier. The work also get done in the way that nobody really happy about it. So I changed a little bit about the way it is by being more patient, more acceptive about what the way people are reacting, and just wait for the right moment to just intervene by giving a little bit of leap of faith and people to give the chance for them to really try it out, because that's how they can grow. And in a way, I don't get what I want completely. The work doesn't get done 100%, but it is still very acceptable, and I get peace of mind. So that's how I turn this into the right use of being patient by, okay, I will look at the scenarios that I'm giving the trust, I'm giving the chance to learn, I'm giving them the chance to grow. So that's how I can turn into becoming patient with the situation. So I hope this giving yourself the explanation. Brahmanic, the karmic transfer is only visible in Buddhism, but how it works? Generally, it doesn't visible only in Buddhism because just like energy doesn't belong to Buddhists, electricity doesn't belong to me, sunlight doesn't belong to you, it belongs with everybody. So karmic energy is something just like that. It is the energy that you have and it can be transferred. You can transfer it by imagine you can't give something that you don't have. So in order to have something, you must have it first. So what you do is recollect of the image of the good deeds that you do, that you have done until you feel very joyful with it, and imagine the person you want to share it with inside of that energy until, that's how you really transfer it to that person. So from Kunal, who is the Mara in Buddhism, how many types? So in Buddhism, we talk about the 5 main maras. Mara means obstructor, the obstruction. The mean that is literary translation. It means the obstructor to doing good deeds. So there are a number of things, from our own defilements, from death, from the senses. So there are 5 of them in the Buddhist context. After all, it means that these mara are what preventing us from being able to do more good deeds. And one of the major mara is death, because whenever death comes to us, it eliminates our chance to pursue more good deeds. So which means that use your time wisely, the time that you have right now. And also another mara that is always in our own mind, which is our own defilements or the negativity that we already have. So that's why each time that you come to meditate, it is each time that you eliminate those negativity from your mind. So from Adele, is dementia related to karma? If yes, why? If no, why? Having dementia, a person cannot relate to conversation, not rememberable, okay. So dementia in the Buddhist context also comes from the past karma. And the karma that caused dementia is telling lies, using lies. Karma has also another part of the karma, which is establishing something called habit. When we do something repeatedly, that habit ingrained deeper in ourselves. So when we tell lies, let's say I want to, tell lie 1 time, it means I have to lie to myself 3 times. Let's say I want to lie to you. The first thing is I have to make up a story in my mind. So this is the first time I lie. The second time will be when I engage in the action. Now I'm lying to you. The third time is each time that I meet you, I have to keep the story intact. I have to maintain the correctness of the line that I'm making, and it can continue much longer in the future as well. So each time I make up the story, it means that, let's say I have the memory, vivid memory of one thing, but I have to erase that image of memory and replace with the blurry image that I make up in order to become alive. And each time I think about the lie, this is what I do. I erase my own memory, replace it, replace it. So at one point, it becomes confusing. And this is the karma that we say related to dementia if we use things lie a lot. So therefore, whenever we say something, it has to be the truth. Number 2, it must come from the good intention. Number 3, it must carry some purpose from the conversation. Number 4 and 5 is to choose the right time, the right place, and the right words. So that's how you speak something so that we don't end up telling lies and also doesn't really carry the negative effect in the future. Alrighty, I think I catch up all of the questions. So I really hope that you are there, getting all your question and understanding, and we can see each other again next time. It's already the top of the hours. So as I mentioned at the beginning, don't forget to take your time to meditate on your own in the day and using the mind story as a way to reinforce and strengthening your meditation practice, because after all, you use your mind every day, you need to clean every day. So thank you. So I think our Pam is not on. She may have some technical difficulties. So I think we can just say goodbye and see you guys next time.